Hello, I'm Tawan Brown. Today we'll have the opportunity to get to know two young leaders at TI. You'll learn more about their background and how they've progressed in their careers here. Hagop and Marshall, thanks so much for joining us today.
Nice to be here.
Thanks for having us.
Hagop, I remember when I first met you, you were a regional manager out in the Bay sales office. Tell us a little bit about your background, how you arrived here at TI, and some of the various roles you've been in over your career.
Sure, be happy to, Tawan. So I actually had the opportunity to join TI through the TSA program. And so came straight out of school and began in multiple rotations through multiple different business units. So I had the opportunity to do marketing for both our analog businesses as well as our embedded processing businesses prior to joining the field as a salesperson in the Bay Area, which is where I spent a good chunk of my sales career and where we actually had the opportunity to meet. And then, through my career, I've had the opportunity to also be a sales manager and area director, and now I'm in analog marketing. That's the team that I lead.
Wow, so quite a bit of different experiences. Which of those was probably the most challenging transition for you?
The biggest thing about sales that people don't tell you is that you're not told what to do every day. So you actually have to go and prioritize the most important activities, the most important accounts, and the most impactful work you could be doing for the company. And this isn't something that is natural. So I'd say the biggest challenge was purely prioritizing the biggest accounts, making sure that I spent most of my time there, that I led teams that were calling on those accounts in a more effective manner. And that just took some discipline, which I wasn't used to. But the most important aspect of that, I think, was making sure that I asked for help. I had a really good manager who helped me in making sure that I clearly understood the impact of the work I was doing so that I could then prioritize what I did on Monday morning when I showed up.
Great. Thanks so much. Marshall, what about you? Tell us a little bit about your background.
Well, I actually had the opportunity to start right after my freshman year of college as a co-op. They stuck me in a little corner of a back lab and had me optimizing some C code for DSL modems. It was a great experience, and one of the first things that I learned was that not only do you have to solve the problems that you're given, but you also have to figure out how to go out and define the problems that need to be solved. My assignment was much shorter than anyone really anticipated, so I had to stand up, walk around, talk to other folks, and figure out how to make myself useful to the organization. It was a very, very critical lesson to be learned, both for the rest of my college and for the rest of my career, that you have to take that initiative to get up and figure out what it is that you need to do to make yourself useful and to get the job done right. And I hired in the next summer full-time as half software developer and half field applications engineer. Now this video processing project grew much, much faster than anyone was anticipating, so we quickly realized how understaffed we were. That project really taught me how to really attack problems from every angle possible. Whether the problem came up and it was a problem with the customer's code or maybe the customer's board design, whether it was a problem with my code or a problem with silicon or our board design, it didn't matter. We always had to dive in and figure out exactly where it is and take that ownership that, hey, this is a problem that needs to be solved. We all benefit from making everyone look as good as possible.
Thank you. Hagop, I'm going to shift back to you. Can you tell us about a time when a project you worked on maybe didn't go as well as you anticipated, it wasn't successful? Can you think back on a time?
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, I have so many examples, it's a little more difficult to just find the one that I'd like to talk about. But one that stands out in particular was early on in my career as an account manager, I had the opportunity to call on this customer that was making digital media players. In particular, they were actually making a audio player. And we had a very good relationship with this customer. This customer was using just about every TI part they possibly could. And I think over time, over the first 4 or 5 months on the job, we started getting a little bit complacent and a little bit comfortable with the fact that this customer